Good morning, welcome to CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Friday, January 4th, 2013. In Washington, the U.S. Federal Emergency Management Authority, also known as FEMA, has warned that it's going to run out of money next week to pay any flood-related claims or any Superstorm Sandy-related claims. This is unless Congress, specifically the House of Representatives, approves a budget extension of about $9.7 billion. The newly constituted 113th Congress, which was sworn in yesterday, is going to schedule a vote on the FEMA approval later today. Hopefully it's going to pass. Beginning in October, FEMA had $7.1 billion in funds available, but after Superstorm Sandy, it probably spent as much as $12 billion, and it's already at its borrowing limit. In 2010, in the Gulf of Mexico, the Macondo oil spill occurred. It was the worst oil spill in the United States' history, and the energy insurance market has moved a significant step closer to seeing the issue resolved. There are three main actors involved. There was, of course, BP, which is already settled with the government. They were self-insured largely, so they don't have an effect on the international insurance and reinsurance market. There was Halliburton, which was the drilling company that owned and made many of the pieces of the equipment. And there was the company called Transocean, which was based in Switzerland, which actually owned the Deepwater Horizon mobile offshore rig. The settlement yesterday, announced by Transocean and the Justice Department, sees $1.4 billion paid to the United States over the next 5 years. Transocean had gradually, since the event, begun to stockpile about $2 billion in money in reserves that they had escrowed, preparing to pay the fine when it would be levied. So they now have a little bit of a bump, some $600 million left over. Nevertheless, this will attach into their reinsurance policies. It seems as if the lead on the policies, the Australian insurer QBE, they could be out about some $220 million. Now, there's only one company left, and that's Halliburton. And once that's resolved, the insurers are going to be able to close their books on Macondo. Speaking of Australian insurers, Insurance Australia Group, the country's biggest insurer, has increased its catastrophe reinsurance purchase by some $300 million for 2013. Last year, they bought $4.7 billion. This year, they're up to $5 billion. Of course, the incidents in that part of the world with the Christchurch, New Zealand earthquake, as well as the flooding and droughts in Australia, have caused some havoc there. There's news coming out of Venezuela that Venezuelan President Hugo Chavez may be, in fact, very grave condition in Cuba, where he's been undergoing treatment for cancer. He apparently now has a severe respiratory infection. He may be breathing with the aid of a ventilator, and he, in fact, might also be in a coma. Information is difficult to obtain. Mr. Chavez is 58 years old, and his passing from the scene is apparently being prepared for by the Venezuelan government, which has begun to change its tone in their TV broadcasts. So they seem to be getting people ready. There was a 5.1 earthquake about 45 miles east of Taiwan this morning. No reports of any damage or injuries. And we mentioned yesterday that Eric Schmidt, the former CEO of Google, is going to North Korea. He's apparently bringing with him that peripatetic former governor of New Mexico, Bill Richardson, who has been to North Korea in the past. The State Department said last night that it has advised against a visit to North Korea by both men. They said that the two men are not representing the administration. They are private citizens. They are not carrying any messages from us. Speculation is rampant now that the North Korean leader, Kim Jong-un, may relax the state's rigid controls on information. One observer said the restricted control of information lies at the heart of the North Korean regime, yet it is about to host one of the world's greatest facilitators of borderless information flows. This gentleman went on to say, if Google is the first step in piercing the information bubble in Pyongyang, it could be a very interesting development. Well, remember, with China, it all started with ping pong. Maybe it could start here with internet searching. That's the news for today. Have a pleasant weekend. If any breaking news comes, we'll come back and tell you. If not, we'll see you on Monday.